And good afternoon. Welcome back to Pioneer Park in Greenville, Tennessee for Game 2 of our doubleheader today between the Falcons of Notre Dame and your Tusculum University Pioneers. I'm Jim Miller. I'll be with you for Game number 2 of our doubleheader today. This will be a 7-inning game. Teams will just play 7 innings after the first game went to Tusculum by a score of 15-0. The Pioneers banged out 13 hits in the game, including a grand slam home run by Dalton Martin, who drove in 5 runs in the ballgame. Charles Hall went 6 innings, struck out 10, and 6 scoreless innings to get the victory. Kent Noe came on for the final 3 innings and earned the save. Game 2, it'll be right-hander Zach Sanders pitching for the Pioneers. And taking the mound for Notre Dame will be lefty Ty Shoaff. The starting lineups for this one, for Notre Dame, leading off will be the right fielder Lucas Thompson. Zach Santoro at second base hits second. Drake May will play third base and bat third. Nick Farrell at first base bats cleanup. Ricky Phillips, the left fielder, bats fifth. Adam Purdy in center field hits sixth. Naha Garcia at shortstop batting seventh. Matt Richards, the catcher, hits eighth. And Joseph Pascal, the designated hitter, batting ninth. For Tusculum, they will go with Jaden Stiegel at shortstop leading off. Dalton Martin, the second baseman, bats second. Bryson Ford at third base hits third. Nate Montgomery, the catcher, bats cleanup. Trey Hinton at first base bats fifth. Jarrell McDade, the left fielder, batting sixth. Zach Finchman, right field, hits seventh. Tyson Beach, the designated hitter, batting eighth. And Seth DeHaven in center field will bat ninth. Sanders making his third start of the season. He's 0-1 with a 6.48 earned run average. 8 1/3 innings, allowed 8 hits, 6 earned runs, struck out 7, and walked 5. Opponents are hitting .267 against Zach Sanders, the 6'4", 210-pound sophomore from Peachtree City, Georgia. Shoaff making the start for Notre Dame is 6'1", 230 pounds out of Akron, Ohio. The lefty making his first appearance for Notre Dame. He had previously been on the roster at Missouri and West Virginia. So he is making his Notre Dame debut today, as they will try and overcome that Game 1 loss by a score of 15-0. Shoaff pitched at Missouri as a freshman. He struck out 16 batters in 9 2/3 innings in his freshman season at Missouri back in 2017. Last year he was at West Virginia University and was on the roster but did not pitch. He pitched 2 seasons at Missouri, actually, 2016 as well, where he pitched 14 games as a freshman and 15 games as a sophomore, so he's definitely has the experience. He was an all-state selection in high school, honorable mention, and has good credentials, so he will probably no doubt be counted on to be an important part of that pitching staff for Coach Len Barker and his Falcons going forward this season. And we'll see what he has to offer in his first start coming up here this afternoon. Sanders on the mound going through his warm-ups. Sanders, last season for the Pioneers, was part of the starting rotation. Made 10 starts last year. 3-4 record, a 7.00 ERA last year for Sanders. 36 innings, 42 hits, 28 earned runs. He struck out 34, walked 16 last season for the Pioneers. So a career 3-5 record for Sanders. Coming into play today. Still overcast skies. Temperatures in the upper 50s, about 58 degrees here at first pitch of Game 2. The wind has died down a little bit. The flag had been blowing rather steadily in the first game. It's flapping a little bit in the breeze now. Rain will be coming later. The question will be, how much later will it be? Looking at the current radar, rain is in the vicinity, not directly around us. There might be a stray sprinkle or two, but more importantly, the rainfall is expected to come in, and by tonight, it'll be a pretty saturating rainstorm, and we'll have to see how that's going to affect tomorrow's games. We should be okay to get this one in with no problem. Sanders facing Thompson to lead off the ball game. The first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. The first pitch this afternoon at 4:31. Calling the balls and strikes in game two is David Mayberry. Britton Kennerly is on the bases. Glad you could join us on the Pioneer Sports Network. Jim Miller with you. Our producer is Nick Forsberg. 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike, 1-1. 1-1 the count to Lucas Thompson. Thompson was 2 for 3 in game one. The sophomore out of Athens, Ohio. Sanders pitch. Foul tipped at the plate, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. One and two the count to Lucas Thompson. Sanders, the pitch, flared towards second. Martin is calling for it, and he makes the catch. And that's the first out of the game. That'll bring up the second baseman, Zach Santoro. Santoro was 1 for 4 in game number one. So, quick first out recorded by Sanders. Sanders with the first pitch to Santoro. That's popped up. That's playable first base side. Hinton comes back a little bit and makes the catch for the second out. So Santoro fouls out on one pitch, and there's very quickly 2 outs here in the first inning. So bring up Drake May, the third baseman. May did not play in game number one, which is surprising because May played 52 out of 53 games a year ago. He hit .303 last season, knocked in 30 runs. But he was not in the lineup for game number one. Back out here for game two. May, junior from Canton, Ohio, attended Wheeling Jesuit earlier in his career. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. 1-1 strike the count to Drake May. 1-1 pitch, check swing, and it was off the plate to appeal, and there is no appeal. Home plate umpire asked for an appeal down at first base, and the first base umpire didn't say anything. So it's ball, 2-1. That pitch is off the plate, 3-1. 3 strike the count to Drake May. Sanders 3-1 pitch on the outside corner, strike 2. Full count to May. Stretch 3-2 pitch. Outside ball 4. May draws a walk, and he's a 2-out base runner for the first baseman, Nick Farrell. Farrell was 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts in game number 1. In there for strike 1. One strike to count to Farrell. This pitch is inside for a ball, 1-1. Sanders, the 1-1 pitch as the runner goes and then stops. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Two-one pitch is looped to Pine third. Tracking it is the shortstop Stiegel, and he makes the catch as he hangs with it for the final out. No runs, no hits, one left. Half inning complete. It's Notre Dame nothing. Tusculum coming to bat on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning coming up here at Pioneer Park. And for Notre Dame, they will send their lefty out, Ty Schoaf, making his first appearance in a Notre Dame uniform for pitching 2 seasons at Missouri. Again, the Pioneer starting lineup, Jaden Stiegel at shortstop leads off. Dalton Martin at second base hits second. Bryson Ford at third base hits third. Nate Montgomery, the catcher, batting fourth. Trey Hinton at first base hits fifth. Jarrell McDade in left field bats sixth. Zach Fincham in right field hitting seventh. Tyson Beach, the designated hitter, batting eighth. And Seth DeHaven in center field batting ninth. So Stiegel will get set to start this ball game. Stiegel was 1 for 2 in game 1 with a double. He walked 3 times and was hit by a pitch and scored 4 runs. Stiegel now batting .429 on the season, 12 for 28. His 8 runs are tied with Dalton Martin for the team lead. He does lead the team with 12 hits. First pitch is taken for a ball. Time is called. And an illegal pitch. No idea what that's about, but it's 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 the count. As we head back to action here. That pitch is a strike. It's 2-1. It's a short. Garcia a couple steps to his left. His throw to first is in time for the out. And there's one down here in the bottom of the first inning. So bring up Dalton Martin. Martin was 3 for 5 in game 1 with a double and a home run. That was a grand slam as part of a 7-run fourth inning. Martin drove in 5, scored 2. Showing bunt, takes a ball. Martin now hitting .407 on the season, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. Shoves pitch. He is there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Dalton Martin. One pitch. Chop foul into the waiting hand of Bryson Ford in the on-deck circle. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Dalton Martin. Stretch by Schoaf. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Elsewhere in the South Atlantic Conference today, Lincoln Memorial beat Lynn 9-4 in Game 1 of their doubleheader. Carson Newman beat Northwood 11-8 in Game 1 of their doubleheader. And Wingate defeated Erskine 5-3 in Game 1. Mount Olive leads Queens 10-1 in the 6th in Game 1 of their twin bill. Queens, of course, a first-year program under the tutelage of former American League Cy Young Award winner Jack McDowell. Off to a 2-7 start, now 2-8. Or 2-7, with looking like 2-8 with that Mount Olive game trailing by 9 runs in the 6th inning as Martin is called out on strikes for the second out. Shows first strikeout. Bryson Ford will step in. Ford was 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored in Game 1. He's batting .290 with no home runs, 6 runs batted in.
The third baseman, number 16, Bryson Ford.
First pitch to Ford is inside for a ball, 1-0. Check swing to the screen. It's a ball and a strike. One ball and 1 strike to count to Bryson Ford. Taken for a ball, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to count to Ford. Outside, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike to count to Ford. Outside, ball 4. So Ford's the 2-out base runner for the catcher, Nate Montgomery. Montgomery in game number 1 was 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Montgomery now batting .179 on the season, 5 for 28 with 2 runs batted in. First pitch to him is outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. High and outside, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes to count to Montgomery. That's high off the glove of the catcher, Richards. And moving up to second base on the wild pitch will be Bryson Ford. Three balls and no strikes to count to Montgomery. The 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike to count to Nate Montgomery. Trey Hinton waits on deck. 3-1 pitch, low and in, ball 4. Back-to-back walks to Ford and Montgomery. Put runners at first and second with 2 outs for Trey Hinton. Hinton, the Pioneer first baseman. Game 1 was 0 for 5 with a run scored. He is still looking for his first hit of the year at 0 for 6. He'll try and do it here against his lefty, Ty Shoaf. First pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Trey Hinton. Hinton, the sophomore out of Knoxville Christian Academy. He slings one in the hole on the left side for a base hit. Round third comes Ford. He will score standing. And the Pioneers have a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Trey Hinton. Hinton just went with the pitch and just cued it through the left side as the shortstop Garcia was playing almost up the middle. And Ford scored easily with the first run of the game. Jarrell McDade will bat. McDade in game 1 was 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs, now batting 167. First pitch to him. Down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It's a fair ball. Oh, he called it foul. No, he called it foul. Oh, my goodness. John Topolewski's reaction says it all. We'll see the replay there. Let's see. Oh, my. Oh, my. That we'll let the picture speak for itself. Yep. Well, it's a tough break for McDade. That's 2 runs right there. That's 1 strike to count to Jarrell McDade. Well, McDade's got another chance. One strike. Inside corner, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Jarrell McDade. Montgomery at second, Hinton at first. The 0-2 pitch. Hit to short. Garcia is going to go to third, and they get the force there on Montgomery to end the inning. No, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. Could have been a lot more for the Pioneers. The end of 1. It's Tusculum 1, Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneers Sports Network.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
We are at the top of the second inning with Tusculum leading by a score of 1-0 over Notre Dame on the RBI single by Trey Hinton. Pioneers nearly added a couple more runs on a ball down the line off the bat of Jarrell McDade that was called foul.
Leading off for the Falcons,
We'll let the
number 15, Ricky
replay
Phillips.
speak for itself on that. So we go to the top of the second inning, and Rick Phillips leads off for the Falcons. Phillips in game one was 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Zach Sanders worked around a 2-out walk in the first inning. First pitch to Phillips is low and outside, ball 1. Phillips, a senior, 6'2", 185 pounds, out of Reynoldsburg, Ohio. 1-0 pitch. Hit to right center field. Fincham on the run. He's not going to get there, and the ball is going to come to a stop near the warning track. And rolling into second base with a double is Phillips. The first extra base hit of the season for the Falcons, who were limited to 6 singles in game number 1. Adam Purdy, the center fielder, were bat. Purdy was 0 for 3 in game 1 with 3 strikeouts. So the Falcons have their leadoff runner at second base here in the second. Sanders' pitch. It's in there for a strike. 1 strike to count to Adam Purdy. One strike to count to Purdy. Swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Purdy. Sanders will come to the stretch. And the 0-2 pitch. Cued towards third. That's foul. Past the third baseman Ford. Still 0-2. As you can see, he cued that one down the third baseline, and it just about 3 inches foul. Still 0-2 the count to Purdy. And he goes down on strikes. So Purdy has struck out yet again. And that's the first strikeout of the game for Sanders. Naha Garcia, the shortstop, will bat. Garcia went 0 for 3 in game number 1. Sanders ready to go with the first pitch. Hit to third. Ford has it, checks the runner back, throw across the diamonds in time. Garcia's retired for the second out of the inning. So Phillips with the leadoff double still on at second base with 2 outs for the catcher Matt Richards. Richards 0 for 3 in game 1. He did draw a walk. Two down here in the second. Time is called at the plate. Richards stepping in. Face Sanders. And that one's on the first pitch to short. Stiegel on the backhand. Long throw across is accurate on time for the third out. Nice play at short by Jaden Stiegel. He went to his right on the backhand and came up with the play. Had to go a couple steps to that backhand. went down to a knee, then got up and made a strong, accurate throw across the diamond in time for the out. No runs, a hit, and one left. Middle of the second, it's Tusculum 1 and Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the second inning here at Pioneer Park with Tusculum leading Notre Dame 1-0 in this 7-inning game. It'll be the bottom third of the order for the Pioneers. Zach Fincham will lead it off against lefty Ty Shove. Fincham in game number 1 was 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored. Also drew a walk in the game. Fincham now batting .281 on the season with 4 runs batted in. He takes the ball 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Zach Fincham, the Pioneer right fielder. Next pitch is way outside, 2-0. That pitch is high, it's 3-0. 3-0 the count to Fincham leading off the second. That pitch is in there, strike one, 3-1. Three-one from Shove. Hit to right field. Thompson has to take just a couple steps back and makes the catch for the out. Fincham retired. To bring up Tyson Beach, the designated hitter. Beach got in late in game number 1. It was 0 for 1. Looking for his first hit of the season. First pitch to Beach is lined foul past first base coach John Topoleski. So a sight I've never seen before. Just a few moments ago, I saw Doug Jones in the press box during our Tusculum home baseball game. Of course, Jones, a longtime coach of the Pioneers. Now, director of athletics. Fouled away. Stepped down at the end of last season to concentrate on his administrative duties, and Brandon Steele, his longtime assistant, elevated to the head coaching job. 0-2 the count to Beach, and he's out on strikes. Second strikeout for Shove. 2 up and 2 down here in the second. Seth DeHaven, the center fielder, will bat. DeHaven in game 1 was 1 for 5, but it was a 2-run triple in the second inning. DeHaven hitting .214 on the season with those 2 runs batted in. Time is called as requested by DeHaven. We'll dig back in the box. First pitch coming here from Shove to DeHaven. Now back to the screen. One strike to count to Seth DeHaven. Set and the 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Seth DeHaven. The 0-2 pitch. Cued towards third. It's going to go foul. As charging it was third baseman May, but he fields it in foul territory, and it's still 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Seth DeHaven. The 0-2 pitch, low, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to DeHaven, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The 1-2 pitch, hit to left center field, hit pretty well, giving chase is Phillips, looking up, and it's going to 2-hop on the warning track. DeHaven's got great speed, but he's going to lock it down at second base, and DeHaven's got a 2-out double. His second extra base hit of the game. DeHaven got a good swing on that ball and lined it into the gap in left center for extra bases. Pitch was high, and he got the barrel on it and drove it over Phillips' head. And he's on second base with 2 outs for Jaden Stiegel. Stiegel takes a ball 1-0. Stiegel grounded out to short his first time up. That one is lined to right field for a base hit. DeHaven's around third, and Thompson bobbles the ball, and now it's going to allow Stiegel to move up to second, except he's going to be thrown out as he tried to move up. And the run does count. Count the run. And it's 2-0 Pioneers as DeHaven scores. Stiegel out at second base to end the inning. But the Pioneers do get a run on 2 hits and leave none. At the end of 2, it's Tusculum 2, Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneers Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Top of the third inning here at Pioneer Park with Tusculum leading 2-0. And leading off for the Falcons is the designated hitter Joseph Pascal. He was 0 for 4 in game 1. Takes a strike. The 0-1 pitch is low and away, 1-1. One and one the count to Pascal, the number 9 hitter in the lineup in this game, as he swings and foul tips out 1 strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The 1-2 pitch hit foul over the grandstand, still a ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count to Joseph Pascal. Chopped down the first baseline. Hinton will take it himself, and that's the first out of the inning. Right fielder Lucas Thompson back at the top of the order, batting for the Falcons. Thompson popped up to second his first time up.
Lucas Thompson.
Thompson digs into the box to face Sanders here for the second time. And he takes that one in the outside corner for a strike. One strike to count to Lucas Thompson. That's in there for a strike, nothing in, or two. New balls and 2 strikes, the count. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. It's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. The count to Lucas Thompson. Pitches off the plate, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Loop foul down the right side into the seating area and back out. Still 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Thompson with 1 out here in the third. Sanders. To set the 2-2 pitch. Line to right field. Fincham is there and hangs up for him, and he makes the catch for the second out. Thompson's hit it on the nose, especially in right field today, but that time it hung up for Fincham, who makes the catch for the second out. Zach Santoro will step in. Santoro popped up to first, his first time up. First pitch is taken for a strike. One strike to count to Santoro. Hit to short. Stiegel takes it on a hop. His throw across is in time. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Sanders. Retired 9 of the 11 batters he's faced. 2.5 innings complete. It's Tusculum 2, Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Bottom of the third inning here at Pioneer Park. Dalton Martin leads off. He was struck out by Schoaf back in the first inning. It'll be Martin, Ford, and Montgomery here in the fourth, or in the third. Pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes. There for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Dalton Martin. Shoves 2-1 pitch. It's outside, 3-1. Three balls and a strike, the count to Martin, who's walked up 10 times already this season. Not here as he skies one to left field. Phillips, backing up, makes the catch for the out. So Martin retired. It's 1 down here in the third. Third baseman Bryson Ford will bat. Ford walked in the first inning, came around to score on a single by Hinton. Shoves first pitch to him. Line to right center field. That will drop in for a base hit. Thompson able to cut it off nicely. He'll get it back into the infield. But it is a single for Bryson Ford. He's reached base now twice. Fourth hit of the game for the Pioneers. Ford with a good swing on that ball in a right center field, and Thompson had to cover a lot of ground, but he got there in time to cut it off. Otherwise, Ford would have had 2 and maybe 3. Nate Montgomery, the batter. Montgomery walked back in the first. And that pitch is taken there for a strike. Ford stole a base in game 1. It was his 5th of the season. Bluffs there, and that pitch is low, 1-1. Ball and a strike, the count to Nate Montgomery. Back safely. Standing up is Ford. Stretch by Schoaf. The pitch popped up out of play. It's ball and 2 strikes to Nate Montgomery. Schoaf with the stretch. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it. Montgomery down, swinging. Third strikeout for Schoaf. 2 down here in the third. Trey Hinton steps up. Hinton with an RBI single back in the first inning. His first time up. His first hit of the season after going 0 for 6. Ford takes off. He'll steal that base easily as the pitch is outside for a ball. 6 stolen bases now for Ford without being caught. So 1 ball and no strikes to count to Hinton, with Ford now in scoring position. The pitch is low and away, 2-0. Balls and no strikes, the count to Trey Hinton. That one's outside, 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes, the count to Trey Hinton, with Jarrell McDade waiting on deck. To there for a strike, 3-1. Three and 1 the count to Hinton. Pitch. Outside ball 4. It goes to the backstop, allowing Ford to move up to third. So a walk issued by Schoaf. It's his 3rd walk of the game. That leaves runners at the corners with 2 outs for Jarrell McDade. McDade grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Also had appeared to have a 2-run double in that inning. A line drive down the right field line that was called foul. As I said, the replay spoke for itself. Pitch to McDade is chopped to the left side. Garcia has it, but will have no play anywhere as Ford scores, and it's 3-0 Pioneers. McDade with an infield single, and the Pioneers add another run. It's 3-0. Zach Fincham, the right fielder, now batting. Fincham flied out to right his first time up. So all 3 runs in the game for the Pioneers coming with 2 outs. That pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Tusculum has not gotten the leadoff runner on base in any inning, but they've scored in each of those innings. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Fincham. The pitch. Line down the left field line. That is a fair ball, and that is going to go to the corner. In comes Hinton. McDade is around third, and he is going to score without a throw. And it's a 2-run double for Zach Fincham, and the Pioneers now lead at 5-0. Fincham with a shot down the line and left. And as you can see, just fair. And 2 runs for the Pioneers, who now lead at 5-0. Tyson Beach, the designated hitter, now batting. Beach struck out his first time up. That's pop foul, 1 strike. Tusculum came into play today with a team batting average of .202, averaging a shade under 4 runs a game. They've done a number of those stats today. 13 for 38 as a team in game 1. 0-1 pitch, hit to short. Garcia goes to a knee. He's got it. His throw across is in time. And the inning is over. The Pioneers get 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits and 1 left on base. At the end of 3 complete innings, it is Tusculum 5, Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 4th inning of this 7-inning game, game 2 of our doubleheader. Tusculum leading Notre Dame by a score of 5-0. Jim Miller with you. Glad you could join us on the Pioneer Sports Network. Our producer today is Nick Forsberg. Leading off the top of the 4th inning for Notre Dame is the 3rd baseman Drake May. May drew a walk his first time up. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Tusculum. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Notre Dame. Zach Sanders. First pitch is fouled away. Sanders just 36 pitches through 3 innings. One strike to count to May. The 0-1 pitch, low, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. pitch is way outside, 2-1. Two and one the count to Drake May. That pitch is on the outside corner, strike 2. Two and two the count to May, leading off the 4th. Sanders' pitch. Hit to left field. Hit pretty well. McDade was going to have a play on it, though, and he makes the catch. Looked better off the bat than it wound up being, as May lines out hard to McDade for the first out.
First baseman, number 28, Nick Farrell.
Nick Farrell will bat, the first baseman for Notre Dame. He popped up to short his first time up. Sanders' pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1. Next pitch is taken for a strike. The ball's in 2 strikes to count to Nick Farrell. The 0-2 pitch, inside, 0-2. One and 2 the count. To Farrell. Pitch, low and in, 2 and 2. Two and 2 the count to Farrell. Hit to first. Nice play on the short hop by Hinton, and he steps on the bag for the second out. That's a tough play by the first baseman, Trey Hinton, and he made it look easy. He charged it and came up with it on the short hop for the second out. Rick Phillips, the left fielder, will bat. Phillips doubled to lead off the second inning, but was stranded. He was the last batter to reach safely for the Falcons, as Sanders has retired 9 in a row. First pitch to him is on the outside corner for a strike. One strike the count to Rick Phillips. That is outside, 1-1. One and 1 the count to Phillips. The 2 outs here in the 4th. Fouled away, and it's 1 and 2. One and 2 the count to Phillips. Stretch, and the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen again, 1 and 2. One and 2 the count. Pitch, outside, 2 and 2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Phillips. Line to right field. Fincham came in a couple steps. Now he backtracks and he makes the catch for the out. So a couple hard hit balls to the outfield, but nothing doing for Notre Dame in the 4th, as Sanders has retired 9 in a row. Halfway home, middle of the 4th of Game 2. It's Tusculum 5 and Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
We are in Grainger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
Bottom of the fourth inning here at Pioneer Park, and Seth DeHaven leads off for the Pioneers. DeHaven doubled and scored back in the second. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Tusculum. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Notre Dame. First pitch from Ty Schoaf is in there for a strike. Schoaf's allowed 5 earned runs on those 6 hits, struck out 3 and walked 3. DeHaven's takes outside. It's 1-1. Seth DeHaven. DeHaven, Stiegel, and Martin due up in the fourth here for the Pioneers. The 1-1 pitch shows bunt, takes high, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Seth DeHaven. That one's outside, 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike, the count. Now time is called as DeHaven requests time. Stretch by Schoaf, 3-1 pitch. Hit to third. May has it on the backhand. He's going to have to hurry. His throw is high on the tag. He got him. Stuck with it on both ends, and they get the out for the first out of the inning. DeHaven with good speed.
Shortstop, number 13, Jaden Stiegel.
As we see here on the replay, May had it on the backhand, smothered it, but the ball kicked out of his glove, but right to his hand, and then his throw was wide, and there's the tag applied by the first baseman Farrell just before DeHaven touches the base, and that's the first out of the inning. Jaden Stiegel at the plate. He's grounded out and had an RBI single. That neon looks like he's swinging a highlighter. It's that one to right field. Thompson back towards the track, and he has room to make the catch for the second out. 2 up and 2 down here in the fourth, but the Pioneers have more they want them. All their runs coming with 2 outs. Dalton Martin will try and get it started. Martin's looking for his first hit of the game. He struck out and flied out. Martin hit the grand slam back in the fourth inning of game 1 of this doubleheader to blow the game open. Pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Dalton Martin. Seems scheduled to play 2 more tomorrow. Pitch is outside, 2-0. First pitch scheduled for 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon here at Pioneer Park. Then the weather, rain is supposed to move in late this afternoon, early this evening, as that one is lined into right field for a base hit. So Martin has his hit, 7th hit of the game for the Pioneers. He's a 2-out base runner for Bryson Ford. Ford has scored twice, walked in the first, singled in the third.
The third baseman, number 16, Bryson Ford.
And the rain is supposed to start maybe around 7. It's about an hour and a half from now. Pitch to Ford as a strike. Then it's supposed to remain until about daybreak tomorrow. It will be chilly tomorrow no matter what. The high is only going to be in the mid-40s. This one is hit to right. Thompson on the run. He's not going to get there, and the ball drops in. He picks it up quickly and gets it back into the infield. Martin will hold on at third as Ford is in at second with a double. And he's reached base now safely 3 times. On a walk, a single, and a double. It looked like Thompson had just taken a step to his right before Ford hit the ball. And he was able to get over there and cut it off. He's done a good job of cutting the ball off throughout the day. He also lost his hat about 10 times. So 2 on and 2 out for Nate Montgomery. Montgomery walked in the first, struck out in the third. Shows pitch. Check swing. Gets through the catcher. Coming in is the runner, Martin. He scores. Martin's safe at the plate as the ball slithered through the catcher, Richards. Richards unable to make the play. You can see on this replay here. Thought the ball was probably in the dirt. And that'll be a wild pitch as that ball was in the dirt. And it's 6-0 Pioneers. That pitch is inside for a ball, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Nate Montgomery, with Tusculum now leading 6-0. That one's in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike to count to Nate Montgomery. Stretch by Show for the 2-1 pitch. Inside, it did graze him. So Montgomery hit for a pitch for the second time today and puts runners at the corners with 2 outs for Trey Hinton. Hinton singled home a run in the first, walked and scored in the third. So Ford batting with runners at the corners now and 2 outs, or Hinton that is. Ford is the runner at third, Montgomery at first with 2 outs. Pitch is taken for a ball. All 6 runs for the Pioneers, scoring with 2 outs. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. Great grab by Richards. That ball almost went to the screen. 2-0. Tusculum had 2 outs and nobody on base in the first, scored a run. 2 outs and nobody on in the second, scored a run. Runner at second and 2 outs in the third, scored a run. Scored 3 runs that inning. And in this inning, 2 outs, nobody on, and no single, double, wild pitch. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Trey Hinton. The stretch, runner bluffs going, and the pitch is taken for a ball, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike, the count to Trey Hinton. Very overcast day. The sun was just out briefly during the first game. I mean, when I say briefly, it was probably out for about 3 minutes. Otherwise, it's been overcast all day. It is darker here than it looks on your screen. 3-1 pitch is taken outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 4th walk issued by Schoaf, who's also hit a batter. The bases are loaded for Jarrell McDade. McDade grounded into a fielder's choice and had an RBI single and scored a run. McDade, 10 home runs last season, still looking for his first. Tusculum's already had 1 grand slam today, that off the bat of Dalton Martin. So here's McDade with a chance to add on some more runs for the Pioneers. Shows pitch to him in the dirt, ball 1. One ball and no strikes to count to Jarrell McDade. The 1-0 pitch popped up, foul, Long run for the left fielder Phillips, and it's going to land out of play. Ball and a strike to Jarrell McDade. Stretch to the 1-1 pitch. Checks his swing, but he went. Foul tipped it, actually. It's 1-2. That pitch is swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to do it for the inning. As Dade is retired on strikes, and the inning is over. A run, 2 hits, and 3 left on base. 4 complete here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Tusculum 6 and Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 5th inning here at Pioneer Park as the lights are coming on above us. Zach Sanders has retired 9 in a row and allowed just 1 hit. It was a double to Rick Phillips in the 2nd inning. Playing 7 in this one, so 3 innings to go for Notre Dame if they're going to try and get back in this ball game. Adam Purdy will lead off for the Falcons. Purdy struck out all 3 times in Game 1 and struck out in his only at-bat here in Game 2. Sanders with the stretch and the first pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. One strike the count to Adam Purdy. Stretch by Sanders and the 0-1 pitch. Popped up to short. Stiegel has it lined up. And he puts it away for the first out. One down here in the 5th. That'll bring up the shortstop Naha Garcia. Garcia grounded out in his only at bat. Sanders. The stretch and the first pitch. Line down the left field line. It is foul. One strike the count to Naha Garcia. Nobody throwing in the Tusculum bullpen. There is some stretching going on, but no throwing. Sanders at just 56 pitches. The 0-1 pitch, outside, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Naha Garcia. One, chop foul, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Garcia. The 1 out here in the 5th. The 1-2 pitch. Line to right. Fincham has it lined up, takes a couple steps to his left and makes the catch for the 2nd out. The 2 down here in the 5th. Catcher Matt Richards will bat. Richards grounded out his only plate appearance.
Matt Richards.
So Sanders has now retired 11 in a row. Swinging a foul tip. 1 strike to Richards. Sanders with the set the 0-1 pitch. Bounce that one up there and all the way to the screen. Ball and a strike. One ball, 1 strike the count to Matt Richards. That one's on the outside corner, and 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes the count to Richards. Fouled away, still alive at 1-2. Sanders only struck out 1. He's walked 1 as well. A very effective pitching job so far by the Pioneer right-hander. 1-2 pitch. Just stays alive. Really, if you look at the Pioneer pitching staff, it's the only given pitching-wise is Charles Hall. There's opportunities behind him, and someone who takes advantage of an opportunity. That's what Hall did last season. Hall took advantage of an opportunity and ran with it. See if Sanders may be doing that this year. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. 4th straight inning where he's retired 3 straight, so he's set down 12 in a row overall. Has Zach Sanders, a 2nd strikeout of the game. Middle of the 5th. It's Tusculum 6, Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Bottom of the 5th inning here at Pioneer Park. Tusculum leading by a score of 6-0, and Notre Dame will dip into the bullpen as they will go with right-hander Hayden Parker. Parker, a freshman out of Warren, Ohio, 5'11", 195 pounds. So Schoaf's line is complete. His first start at Notre Dame, he goes 4 innings, allows 8 hits, 6 earned runs, walks 4, struck out 4. From 85 pitches, 44 strikes, 41 balls. So Hayden Parker will get a chance here to face the bottom third of the Tusculum lineup, starting with Zach Fincham. Fincham's fly to right and hit a 2-run double. Parker's first pitch is inside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Chop foul over the dugout. It's a ball and a strike. The additional netting added last summer for the Greenville Reds minor league team, which extends from dugout to dugout. 1-1 pitch is high, 2-1. Previously, the backstop area just extended from the edge of the dugout closest to home plate all the way around to the other edge of the dugout, but now that netting across the top of the dugout as well, which is a trend in baseball. Obviously, safety being a very important thing. 3 balls and a count. The strike the count to Zach Fincham. This one is popped up. It's foul. It's out of play. It's going to hit it right over our heads. Oh, it hit on the netting. I thought it was going to hit on the roof, and we're going to have one of those bang noise from the ball hitting it, but it just landed on the netting and rolled on down. If you've been to Pioneer Park before, the area where I described where the netting used to extend only from dugout to dugout behind the plate also has a netting over it. As Fincham drives one to left center field, and coming over and cutting across to make the catch is Phillips. Nice play by Rick Phillips as he came from left field into left center and called off Purdy and made the catch for the first out. Tyson Beach, the batter, Beach 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. Anyway, the netting over home plate extends all the way to the roof, so any foul balls that go over the home that would have hit the backstop, that area had netting all the way to the roof, so if you sit underneath it, you're not going to get hit by any foul balls either. Well, that netting area still only exists between the dugout areas, the floor to ceiling netting, and then there's just the additional netting that just extends down the lines. It's a long explanation to tell you that there's more protection for fans than there used to be. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Tyson Beach. Parker with the 1-1 pitch. That's popped up, shallow right field. Second baseman Santoro drifts out. Puts his hands up to signal he's got it, and he does for the second out. So Beach 0 for 3. Seth DeHaven will bat. No, he won't. Sam Urban will bat. So Sam Urban will pinch hit for DeHaven, who got the start in Game 1, got 7 plate appearances today. Urban will bat for the first time in this doubleheader. Urban started 6 games prior to this weekend. He's 1 for 19 at the plate. He and Dupuis have been looking for hits, and Dupuis got one in Game 1. Now Urban will bat, takes a ball. No doubt Urban not starting this game because of the lefty pitching. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Sam Urban. 2-0. Urban made what probably will be the catch of the year down in Florida. Made a great play and make a diving catch in the outfield, and then got up and had the presence of mind to double the runner off first base. 2-0 pitch is taken for a ball, 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes to count to Sam Urban. The 3-0 pitch, right there for a strike. 3 balls and a strike to count to Sam Urban. Wind up in the 3-1 pitch. Hit to right field, hit well, down the line. It is in there for a base hit. Urban on his way to second. He'll reach there standing as Sam Urban comes through with a double. Pinch hit double for Urban. 9th hit of the game for the Pioneers. And he is a 2-out base runner for Jaden Stiegel. Urban on the replay gets a good swing on this one and drives it down the line and right. And Thompson on the long run wasn't going to get there, and the ball lands just fair as the base umpire in that position to make that call. That pitch goes off the glove of the catcher, Richards. Now trying to move up, and doing so is going to be Urban. That should be a passed ball. As Urban takes third base. Might have been a cross-up as Richards goes out to discuss things with Parker. It's potential that there was a cross-up there, but in any case, the Pioneers have a runner at third now with 2 outs. As they once again look for a 2-out run. Stiegel takes high, 1-1. Or, excuse me, 2 balls and no strikes. Dalton Martin waits on deck. It is a passed ball, as I suspected it would be. 2-0 pitch. On the outside corner, strike 1. There is some activity now in the Tusculum bullpen. 2-1 the count to Stiegel. Pitch. Hit to left field. Hit well down the line. It's going to hook foul. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stiegel put a good swing on it. Drove it down the line. It had home run distance, but it was foul by about 10 feet or so. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Jaden Stiegel. Urban, the runner at third base. Pitch. On the outside corner, called third strike. So Stiegel goes down looking. First strikeout for Parker. That'll do it in the 5th inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. End of 5. It's Tusculum 6, Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 6th inning here at Pioneer Park with Tusculum leading 6-0 over Notre Dame. Sam Urban stays in the game to play center field. Zach Sanders, who has retired 12 in a row, will face Joseph Pascal, the number 9 hitter, the designated hitter, to lead off the top of the 6th. 7 innings game scheduled here, so 2 more innings to go for Notre Dame to try and mount a comeback. First pitch from Sanders is in there for a strike. Sanders 65 pitches through 5 innings. The 0-1 pitch bounces up there, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to count. To Pascal. That one's low and outside, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to count. Low and away, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike to Pascal leading off the 6th. Sky to center field. Urban will backtrack. He has it lined up, and he makes the catch for the out. One down here in the 6th. Right fielder Lucas Thompson will bat. Thompson is popped up and lined out.
Lucas Thompson.
13 in a row retired now by Sanders. This one's hit to right field. Easy play for Fincham. He's got it, 2 outs. 2 quick outs here for Sanders in the 6th. The second baseman, Zach Santoro, will bat. Santoro has popped up and grounded out. Activity continues in the Tusculum bullpen. It might just be some throwing. So I will be willing to wager that I don't think in Brandon Steele's wildest dreams and Todd Ireland's wildest dreams that they would be at this point in the day and have only used 3 pitchers. This one's popped up. Shallow center field. Urban has it lined up, and he makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Zach Sanders, who's now retired 15 in a row. Middle of the 6th. It's Tusculum 6, Notre Dame nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what family...
Bottom of the 6th inning here for the Pioneers. Dalton Martin leading off. He takes that pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Hayden Parker in his second inning of work for the Falcons. Martin is 1 for 3 in the game. He struck out, flied out, and singled and scored. Takes a strike, 1-1. 6-0 Pioneers, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Tusculum. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for Notre Dame. Martin fouls that one out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Be interesting to see if Brandon Steele chooses to send Sanders back out there to try and finish this in the 7th. Does have bullpen activity. Wind up in the 1-2 pitch. Low and in, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Dalton Martin. Reaches out and just flicks that one foul. Still 2-2. Tusculum bullpen at work. Austin Collins doing some throwing down there. That one's fouled away, still 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes, the count holds to Dalton Martin, leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-2 pitch, outside, full count. Wind up and the 3-2 pitch. Beaten foul at the plate. Still a full count to Dalton Martin. Three-two pitch. hit up the middle. It's into center field for a base hit. So Dalton Martin picks up his second straight hit. He's 2 for 4. And this will bring up Bryson Ford. Ford's reached safely all 3 times. He's walked, singled, doubled, scored 2 runs. That pitch is fouled away. One strike to count to Bryson Ford. Martin goes. The pitch is taken for a ball, and the throw is late. Stolen base, Dalton Martin. His 4th of the season. Pioneers had 4 stolen bases in game 1. They've got 2 in this game, which gives them now 17 steals in 10 games. One and 1 the count to Bryson Ford. Martin's hit was the first base runner the Pioneers have had in this game as a leadoff batter. And it's just the second time in this game they've gotten a batter on with less than 2 outs. Stretched by Parker in the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Richards. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Bryson Ford. Two and 1 the count. Pitch by Parker. Popped up foul out of play, 2 and 2. Two and 2 the count. Pitch. Outside, 3 and 2. Line to left field. It's in for a base hit. Martin was off with the pitch, and he'll come around to score. And Bryson Ford safe at first. He's now 3 for 3. And he knocks in the 7th run of the game for the Pioneers. They lead at 7-0. So with the runner going, Ford got a good swing on it and just lined that one into left field. Martin easily scoring. 11th hit of the game for the Pioneers. Nate Montgomery, the batter, he's 0 for 1. He's also walked him and hit by a pitch. Parker's pitch to him is taken for a strike. One strike to count to Nate Montgomery. As Hayden Parker steps off. He'll 1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Nothing in 2 the count to Nate Montgomery. Low for a ball, 1 and 2. One and 2 the count to Montgomery. The pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. Second strikeout for Parker. 1 down here in the 6th.
First baseman, number 6, Trey Hinton.
Trey Hinton, the batter. Hinton also was reached safely 3 times on an RBI single and 2 walks. Hit towards short. Garcia was cheating towards second. He throws to second. In time for the out. On to first. Not in time. Almost a great double play turn there by the Falcons. Instead, it's a fielder's choice as Ford is out at second. They've turned 2 double plays in game 1. And here, it was a ground ball that Garcia just moved closer to the bag, and he had to go hard to his right. And barely got the out at second, and Santoro's throw to first almost in time for the double play. So Jarrell McDade will bat with 2 outs and a runner at first. He sends the first pitch to right center field. Thompson going over, also the center fielder, but it'll be Thompson's ball, and he makes the catch, and that will retire the side. A run for the Pioneers on 2 hits and 1 left. We go to the top of the 7th and final inning, hopefully for the Pioneers, as they lead it 7-0 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 7th inning, Zach Sanders out there to try and finish this one off. Pioneers with a defensive substitution. Zach Fincham's out of the game. Wes Reynolds checks in to play right field. Sanders has retired 15 in a row, thrown just 72 pitches, allowed 1 hit. Also, Zach Froment in at shortstop, placing Stiegel. Top of the 7th inning, it is Drake May leading off. He's walked and lined out. First pitch to him is a half swing and a miss, strike 1. Some light activity in the Tusculum bullpen, but this appears to be Sanders' game. The 0-1 pitch. Line to right center field, and that is going to be a base hit. Just the 2nd hit of the game for the Falcons. And it breaks a string of 15 straight retired by Zach Sanders. May has reached base safely twice. A leadoff single here in the 7th.
First baseman number 28, Nick Farrell.
Nick Farrell will bat. Farrell's popped up and grounded out. Sanders with the first pitch. Low for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Farrell. 2 more between these teams scheduled for tomorrow. First pitch 1 o'clock. Check out TusculumPioneers.com for schedule updates. That pitch is taken for a ball, 2-0. 2-0 the count to Farrell. Fouled away. It's 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and 1 strike the count to Nick Farrell. Stretch by Sanders. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Nick Farrell. Rick Phillips waits on deck. Three-one pitch. Outside corner, strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Farrell. Sanders. Payoff pitch. Fouled away. Still 3-2 the count. Sanders has struck out 2, walked 1. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away again. Still a full count. Sanders. Ready, 3-2 pitch. Hit to second, could be 2. Martin to Froman for 1. Under first, can't make the scoop is Hinton. It's a fielder's choice. And Farrell's safe at first. Martin did a good job on the flip to Froman. Throw across. Might have been in time if Hinton had come up with the ball. That's a tough scoop. The runner at first now with 1 out for Phillips. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Phillips has doubled and lined to right. Sanders with the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball right field. Reynolds in, calling for it. Doesn't see it, and the ball lands behind him. Farrell's going to take third. He lost the ball in the lights. And there's runners at first and third. That's going to be a single. He looked like he had it all the way. He came in and then lost it, and the ball landed right behind him, almost where he was standing. So Phillips gets a gift single. There's runners at first and third now with 1 out. And here comes head coach Brandon Steele. Sure, he'd like to give Sanders a chance to finish this one out. The batter is Purdy, who struck out and popped up. And it will be Sanders to keep the ball. So first and third now with 1 out. It's the third time today in between both games that Notre Dame's had a runner at third base. Sanders with the stretch. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 strike to count to Adam Purdy. Sanders. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The balls and 2 strikes to count to Adam Purdy. Farrell the runner at third, Phillips on at first. Sanders, the high set, and the 0-2 pitch. Chopped back up the middle into center field, a base hit. That will be the first run of the day for the Falcons as Farrell scores. As the high sky does in the Pioneers there. And then a seeing eye single by Purdy.
Shortstop, number 12, Maha Garcia.
Stuck his bat out, chopped it back up the middle. Sanders couldn't quite get there, and then it just went on between the middle infielders for a base hit. So 7-1 the score. And Garcia will bat. He's grounded out and flied out. Pitch to Garcia is outside for a ball, 1-0. One ball and no strikes, the count to Garcia. Long set in the 1-0 pitch. Hit to third, dropped by the runner, by the fielder Ford. And now they are going to say it's a double play. Now time is called. What's the score? Are they going to say infield fly rule? And now we're going to have a discussion as Brandon Steele comes out. It's not an infield. You can't have an infield fly on a line drive, but if they ruled that Ford dropped it on purpose, I don't know that he did. Ford got the out at third, and then everybody was confused. And then Ford threw to second to get what would have been the double play, but the base umpire signaling for them to return to their bases. I don't know how you can call that anything but a double play. Unless again he ruled that, I don't know what the ruling is, but Brandon Steele very unhappy. He is expressing his displeasure with that call. It's an out no matter what. The runner at third, the runner at second, Phillips, is out. The only question is, can there be a situation where you get a double play? I don't think he's going to change anybody's mind. And the huddle breaks up there. So Phillips is out at third, 5 unassisted. And then Purdy and Garcia take their bases. So now there's 2 outs. And the catcher, Matt Richards, will bat. Richards has grounded out and struck out. So that confusion is over. And Sanders will go back to work. Sanders with the set. First pitch, it's a cued foul, 1 strike. 1 strike the count to Matt Richards. Seven to 1, Tusculum leading here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning, game 2 of our doubleheader. Sanders with the high set. Looks the runner back. The 0-1 pitch. Low and away, 1-1. Sanders still under 100 pitches. He's at 91 pitches now. As he tries to nail down this final out. Sanders ready with the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, 2-1. Two balls and a strike, the count to Matt Richards. Sanders comes set. 2-1 pitch. Hit down the first base line. It's a fair ball. It's going to go to the corner, and it'll score 2 runs. Richards digging for second. Richards digging for third, and he is going to get there. with a triple, and the ball gets away, and now he thinks about trying to come home, but goes back. It's a 2-run triple for Richards. And it's 7-3. So some questionable stuff going on here that is not helped the Pioneer cause at all. And Brandon Steele drops his clipboard and walks out to the mound, and this is going to be it for Sanders. So Sanders, 6 2/3 innings, and his day is done. Tough break for him, as he thought he was out of this ball game a couple times in this inning. But a good performance, an outstanding performance by Sanders. You'll remember those first 6 innings very well. Forget the 7th. He was outstanding today for the Pioneers. And it'll be Austin Collins coming in from the bullpen to try and nail down the final out. We'll take a break. 7-3 Pioneers here on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you? To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Right-hander Austin Collins in for the Pioneers to try and finish this one out. Collins making his 3rd appearance of the season, no record, a 9.00 earned run average. Collins has pitched 4 innings this year, allowed 3 hits, 4 earned runs, struck out 3, walked 5, opponents hitting 188 against him. Collins, a redshirt freshman out of Greenville High School. And he'll try and get Joseph Pascal here. With 2 outs and a runner at third base, Tusculum now leading 7-3. There's a lost ball in the lights. A line drive would have been double play that wasn't. Ground ball double play that wasn't. Notre Dame's got 3 runs on the board. The first pitch is high for a ball, 1-0 to Pascal. Pascal's grounded out and flied out. Collins' pitch, high, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes to count to Pascal. Top of the order, Thompson waits on deck. Sky to right field. It's going to drift foul. I don't think it's going to have a play, and it's not as the ball lands on the warning track and bounces into the bullpen. 2 balls and a strike to count to Pascal. Two balls, 1 strike. The count. Stretch by Collins. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Two and 2 the count to Pascal. Pitch. Back up the middle into center field, a base hit. That's 7-4. So 4 runs here in the 7th inning by Notre Dame.
Right fielder Lucas Thompson.
Lucas Thompson will bat. Thompson's popped up, fly to right twice. So Collins will try and retire the leadoff man. That closes the book on Sanders, who really deserved better for as good as he was. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Final line on Sanders. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, a walk and 2 strikeouts. 93 pitches, 63 strikes. Throw to first. Back in safely as Pascal. Collins, 0-1 pitch. On the outside corner, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Thompson. Go-to pitch. Just off the plate, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Thompson. Collins. Ready? The pitch. Flying the ball to right field. Reynolds has it this time, and he makes the catch. And the ball game is over. Little drama in the 7th inning. Couple bad breaks for the Pioneers' standpoint. Notre Dame winds up scoring 4 runs in the inning on 5 hits, and they leave 1. But the Pioneers, the important thing for them is that they swept the doubleheader this afternoon, winning this game by a score of 7-4. Final totals for Tusculum: 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors. For Notre Dame, 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher is Zach Sanders. He is now 1-1. Ty Schoaf takes the loss. He is 0-1. Pioneers getting their runs today early and often. Trey Hinton with an RBI single in the first. Jaden Stiegel with an RBI single in the second. Jarrell McDade with an RBI single in the third. Zach Fincham, a 2-run double in the third, made it 5-0. Bryson Ford scored, or Dalton Martin scored on a wild pitch in the 4th inning to make it 5-0, or 6-0. And then Ford with an RBI single 6 made it 7-0. 4 runs in the 7th inning for Notre Dame, but it wasn't enough as the Pioneers get the victory by a score of 7-4. Individually for the Pioneers, top hitter was Bryson Ford, 3 for 3 with double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI, and a stolen base. Dalton Martin was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Zach Fincham 1 for 3 with a double and 2 runs batted in. For Notre Dame, Ricky Phillips was 2 for 3 with a double, and Matt Richards was 1 for 3 with a triple and 2 RBIs. So the Pioneers get the sweep of the doubleheader. They're now 3-7 on the season. Notre Dame drops to 0-2. The teams will meet tomorrow for 2 more games scheduled to start at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon here at Pioneer Park. We will not have full broadcast coverage at this point. We'll wait and see, but check our website for links to any live stats or video information that we'll have for tomorrow's doubleheader. Also, stay tuned for any scheduled changes that may pop up from the weather that is supposed to come in tonight. Supposed to get some rainfall overnight. We'll see how that affects the schedule for tomorrow. Again, scheduled to start 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Tusculum and Notre Dame. For our producer, Nick Forsberg, and for our sponsors, particularly Ingalls, for their generous support and endorsement of Pioneer Athletics, I'm Jim Miller. Thanks for tuning in to today's doubleheader. The final scores, Tusculum 15, Notre Dame nothing, and Tusculum 7, Notre Dame 4. For post-game wrap-up on this one, including interviews and a complete recap, visit our webpage at TusculumPioneers.com. That'll do it from Pioneer Park. Have a great evening. You've been watching Tusculum Baseball on the Pioneer Sports Network.